Check, check, check. Good morning, YouTube. Good morning, traders. It is Mr. Joseph Trades here with you on a Friday morning. Hard to believe it's already been a week. It's crazy. What a week it's been. All right, let's get started with looking at the overall context of the market. Let's see here. I got my charts marked up. We've currently got price going above the EMA, so we've got a bullish bias. Let's zoom in a little bit. You can see this bull channel we've been in the past few days, actually the past few weeks, but definitely we have a bullish bias. Let's see, we've got right now we've got price between the prior session low and the prior session high. All right. What else do we have? I've got my overnight high and my overnight low. All right, let's go to the 15-minute chart. On the 15-minute, you can see that price pre-market. First of all, let's check the red folder news. It's important to do. What do we have for red folder news today? Used to have NFP back when, we had a government that worked. But now I guess we're happy when we have something that's predictable. Let's see. We've got several red folder events at 10 o'clock though, so we definitely want to be aware of that. We don't want to be in a trade necessarily at 10 o'clock. Well, we want to wait a few minutes afterwards. So other than that, here's the 15-minute. You can see the overnight action was a bit of a range where price ended up testing the high of yesterday's session, and then it pushed up to a pivot point, and it started rotating lower. And so where we are right now is a few minutes ago, price tested this 200 EMA and then tested this pivot point. And as you can see, there was a reversal. So price then went back and hit this 200 EMA again. And now if I had to guess, I would say the next stop is this VWAP. So it would not surprise me at all to see price rotate higher and take out the overnight high. Anything can happen. We just have to wait and see. Let's look at the 5-minute. The 5-minute is my execution time frame. Let me put on a little music here. There you go. We've got about 11 minutes till the market open. Price also has just tested the 21 EMA after that reversal from the pivot point. So it could very well push back lower and test the overnight low. As a matter of fact, going to look at that a little closer. I expect that may happen if price does decide to punch lower. Let's see, where's our overnight low? At 579, okay. If price ends up rolling over and testing the overnight low, I would enter about right here. But it's also possible that it just keeps going higher. Let's go back to the trading view. See how this sounds. Hey, can you hear me? All right. We're off to a good start this morning. Hello, hello. Welcome to the stream. Want to shout out to my boy Dr. Newman. And what's up, Holden? We're gonna need your help. We're gonna need your help deciding on if it's gonna be a range day or a trend day. We've got about 7 minutes to the open. All right. Okay. What's up, Holden? You gonna learn how to trade futures? That would be a good thing. If you could learn how to trade futures now at less than 1 year old, if you get your training started, imagine what you could do if you stuck with it and kept learning. You know, I didn't start trading until a few years ago, and now I'm a crusty cob gobbler. But if you start now and learn, man, the sky's the limit for you, sir. We got 5 minutes till the open. Looks to me, let's take a look at our 15-minute charts. I'm thinking price is wanting to test this VWAP. If we were in normal hours, I would go ahead and get in it. If you felt aggressive, you could go ahead and get along to get into VWAP. Yeah, that move down to the 200 was pretty strong. And then check out the reversal once it hit the pivot point. I feel pretty confident in thinking this is gonna hit the pivot point. If I had seen this bar when it closed, I would have entered long. But see, that was about 10 points ago, so I don't want to chase it. There will be many opportunities today, I believe. Again, yeah, I don't know what caused it. I never really look at the news except for if there is a scheduled red folder event. That's the only news I really look at. I think London is a little before then. That had to have been something else. Maybe that was some sort of economic report from another country, or who knows what it was. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's take a look at what's going on in the big picture here. So here's the 4 hour. You can see on the 4 hour we're above this EMA, so we're in a bullish higher time frame bias. You can see that we've been in, I'll change the color on that as I draw my lovely trend lines. You can see that we've been in a more or less a bull channel for the past several weeks. This is the 4 hour time frame. You can see on the 4 hour that we are currently just beneath the prior session high, and the prior session low is down here. If we look at the real big picture on the 4 hour, if we keep going up, the next stop could be about the 792 level if we can get above this overnight high. Let's drill down to the 15 minute. Yeah, there went price. It touched VWAP just like I thought it would. So check out this 15 minute. Here's our overnight high. We had this range in the overnight. We had a big strong bear move down to test the 200 EMA. And let's see, then it got to this pivot point, reversed up, and here we are. It's tested value areas again of the EMA and the VWAP. We've got a minute and 20 to open. Expect some big activity at the open. There's no immediate trade I would want except possibly a punch to this pivot point. That would make sense. I'll tell you, if price gets above the 700s, I'm going to enter for a pivot point long right here. All right, we've got 53 seconds. Yeah, red folder news today. Let's see. 40 seconds. At 10 o'clock, we have some PCE, University of Michigan, and U.S. consumer spending. That's what's at 10 o'clock. 10 a.m. A few. All right, 19 seconds to the open. Expect a push up. If it looks strong, I'm going to enter for a push up to this pivot point. 7 seconds. I'll place the order to get long at about 25,207 if it looks like it wants to push. I mean 707. All right, let's see if it pushes or dumps on me. Where's my target? My target is 39. I better change it quick, it's getting up there. Oh, he hit it. All right, that in and out, quick profit. That's a good way to start. There's that bull pivot point magnet. Nice trade, nice trade. That's the way to start. That's the way to start. It's very common at the open of the session to have a push to a pivot point. The lag cost my viewers. Now we look like we have price continuing up. Look at this candle. Okay, it could keep pushing. That's a strong candle. Yeah, that was a 30-point winner. A 30-point winner. Apparently I have a lag on my stream. I've got to get that taken care of. Wow, what a move. You know, if I didn't have my stream going on, I'd be done for the day. That's plenty of that's plenty for me. But I'll keep it going. You get something. Oh, okay. Well, that was a quick move. I'm sorry. That sucks, man. You missed. Did you get in did you catch the pivot? The pump? Okay, let's look at the overall context on the 15-minute. This drills down a little more into the yeah, I understand that. The thing about it is the first 15 minutes has some of the highest action of the day, and if there's a likely trade to be had, I'll take it. Such as a move to a pivot point, a move to a overnight high or low level. Man, is this thing going to keep going? Look at the buying. That is strong. The volatility scares you, but that's where the opportunity is. That's why the NASDAQ is so excellent to trade. You could always go to lean hog futures. I don't think they're very volatile. Just kidding, doctor. What you have to do to get over your fear is use a size where if you lose, you don't clinch up. You know, one of the things you have to do is always accept the loss before you get in the trade, because really you don't control anything that happens. You're just looking for probability situations. This is a very strong candle so far. This is the 15-minute. We could keep getting a rotation to this pivot point. Look at this on the 4-hour chart. That is strong. See how it took all that sell side liquidity? That's fuel. Yeah, trades by Matt. Yeah, I mean, what he does works for him. And sure enough, if I were doing wick test limit order trades, I would not do the first few minutes either. That's probably a good idea. So I guess it just all depends on the personality. He's obviously a very successful trader, so yeah, I get it. It's valid. I just noticed that there are a lot of repeatable patterns in the first 15 minutes, and pushes or dumps to pivot points are commonly seen. All right, here we have the 15-minute candle. Looks like there's some selling coming in after it got above the pivot and the overnight high. All right, now what you've got to think about people who watch this go all the way up. What was that? That was a 100-point candle, and they got in at the top, and now it's dumping. There's a lot of pain. There's a lot of potential pain in this candle, depending on how it closes. On the one hand, we're above the EMA and on a higher time frame uptrend with everything. On the other hand, if you take a magical trend line, which you know my feelings about trend lines, but let's use it for the sake of this. You could take a trend line and you can imagine that we're in a channel of some sort. You know, you could say you don't want to be buying up here now that price has already tested the overnight high, this pivot point. You know, you might want to wait until price rotates a little lower. But then on the third hand, look at that. Then on the other hand, if you're a short and you're shorting such strength, then you might get burned if price keeps moving higher. So the market has many ways to inflict pain upon its participants. And what you need to do when you decide to participate is figure out the highest probability situations so you're less likely to be on the painful end. If this thing keeps pumping, I'm going to look for a move up to the this R2 level, which is the next pivot point. There are still 7 minutes left to go in the candle. And also keep in mind we have news in 23 minutes. He is a good trader. Everyone find their own style. I can't hardly type and look at charts at the same time, but that's okay. I'd be inclined to be bullish. I just I've seen many times where you get a continuation just where you think it can't go any higher, and it just does. What do you think, Holden? Holden, are we going to keep going higher to this next pivot point, or are we going to rotate lower in this potential channel? I'll just leave these silly trend lines here for now. See how subjective they are? I can draw them from anywhere. I hate to disparage them too much, but man, they're just so subjective. But that being said, some people yeah, monkey man. Yeah, but I was just trying to engage with my community. Maybe I am the monkey man. Although I prefer to think of myself as the greatest of apes. For me personally, I'm going to wait until after 10 o'clock and try to get in at a lower price. And it's looking more bearish by the second. Look at all those people who FOMO'd. Ooh! You buy up here at this trend line, you're already down 40 points. What size are you using where you can weather that kind of a storm? I don't know. A quarter of a micro? That's not possible, is it? It did work out. Sometimes I get lucky with my trend lines, but I would not put them, I would not try to make a living from trend lines. Admittedly, sometimes they work out. Today they seem like they might have some validity to them, so I'm going to leave them up and just see what happens. So keep in mind we've got 20 minutes till red folder news. If we go lower, we could take this overnight low and head down. You see this green line? Let me zoom in a little bit. That's the prior session low. So we've got several potential places price could be drawn to. I'm going to go turn up the heat. I'm a little frugal and I keep it very cool in this house. And I don't really need to do that with it being, oh wait, look at the 5 minute. Okay, prepare for a possible long entry. I'm glad I thought of this. Price is about to test this VWAP. Okay, and the EMA. Now, very possible it rotates higher, but we're too early in this candle. I'm not going to go long now, but look at the buying that happened. Let's see what happens with this 5 minute. See how my trend lines appear on the 5 minute too? If I were just shooting for a quick scalp, I'd go long right now and try to get to about 755. But it's very possible if you did that price would keep dumping because we still have about half the time frame in the candle. But look at the buying that you see this? When you see this happen, when price tests a level, there's immediate reaction. Those are computer programs that are automatically, look at that. See how they bought? You see that wick? Yeah, it looks like it's going to get to, looks like it wants to get to about right here. If it goes higher, I'll make that a green for like a, but I'm not taking this trade because if I were to take this trade, you could do a quick little scalp if this closes above this candle. Let's see, 742 to 756, that'd be about a 12 point scalp. I mean, if you were trading with a mini and you got 12 points, you know, that would be $240. But this candle may illustrate why you want to wait. We still have a minute left. And see, people who bought because they looked at the initial buying may be getting nervous now. Let's see, we've got 41 seconds to the close. If we had more of a swing structure, like a clearly defined channel, and there was more room to the top of this bearish candle, I would place an entry above here. But being that the top of this candle is right at a key level, which you see this pivot point, and then it still has to get through this pivot point again, and we're still near the top of the channel, it's not a very high probability long for me. It might be for some people, but not for me. And watch, it's gonna pop up there. Watch it pop. Just cause I'm not in it. So you would buy about right there. You would sell about right there. And you would probably have your stop loss, let's say about right there. Right beneath that entry candle if that happens. But it's not a high probability enough trade for me. But if you're feeling lucky, it's probably going to work out. Only because look at that. You just got tagged in. Now let's see if they bring it back down or if they pump it up. Let's see. I bet you, if I had to guess, I'd say it goes up, but this would be a guess. Bet buyers want to punish those bears. They want to run those stops right there. That's why price probably wants to go back up there. But the concern again is look at it's already at a place that makes sense to be tested. That's why I didn't take the trade, because it's already at pivot points. But that being said, it could certainly pop up. Just has too much junk in the way. And see, it's not really following through. It's just sort of lagging around. I'm glad I didn't take this trade. Because if I had gotten tagged in, I'd be real nervous right now. And I'd probably move my stop to right below that candle. But it might still work. We'll see. What are they gonna do? I think they might keep rotating it down. It's just too high in this channel. I wouldn't want to be long in this general area. Now, if it comes down to this pivot point, I would get long for reversal back to the EMA for sure. If you're bullish, you still have a chance. There's a minute left. We've got 12 minutes till a flurry of red folder news. I think it's going to hit the take profit. Looking good. Push it up. Pop it, pop it. Oh, this life I cannot change. NASDAQ, sweet like candy cane. 45 seconds. I mean, you know, again, a quick 12-point scalp, but just too much junk in the way for me. But that being said, it looks like it's looking pretty strong here at the close so far. We still have 25 seconds. Let's see if the bulls can pop it up. Think it's going to work, guys. Let's see. Like 10 more points and you'll have your take profit. You'd want to get out around 756. Come on, 10 more points. Boom! It worked out. There you go. So if you took that trade, that would be a good one for you. But for me, it was not prime, so I didn't. But I still knew the pain levels, and that allowed me to see that potential. So now look what we have. We've got like overlapping bodies. You start off with this big one. When you have a big bar like this, you can think of it as a breakout bar and as a climactic bar at the same time. You can use it to help define a range if price, like a real small range. So just as I have this channel as a type of range, channels are ranges that just have a direction to them. But just as we have a larger range here, if you look at this, you might have a smaller one. Now, that being said, I need to prepare for an entry to this pivot point. If the news looks bullish, that's a very likely place for it to go to. So let's see. I would go ahead and put an order up here just in case with the news that happens in 3 minutes and 20 seconds, price decides to pump up. We've actually got 8 minutes till the red folder news. It's looking like it wants to make a move. I'm going to go ahead and place an order. Right about there. See if we can get a move above the top of this channel. This would be the next likely target. It's looking like it wants to try. It's still 1 minute and 12 left. Let's see, I'll be right back. I'm just checking something here. So 859.50. Yeah. I think we're gonna get a move to this next pivot point. That's what it's looking like. That's a strong bullish candle. We got 20 seconds left in this 5-minute candle. In this little range I was just talking about, if this closes strong, we could get a push. It could also rotate back down. Let's see. You know, most breakouts fail 80%. I'll be right back. I've got 5 minutes till Red Folder News. I'll be right back. Time for a coffee refill. Okay, here we go. 10 o'clock. Here we go. Is it gonna pop it or drop it? Red folder news in effect. If this goes down and tests the 21, we might be in for another channel type of day. So the market is not thinking that whatever news was released is super bullish, obviously, at this point. Yeah, the lag is about a minute and a half. I just looked at when that news candle opened to when my face appeared. It was a minute and a half of lag. That's a lot of lag. Yeah, we shall see. Right now there's some indecision. This news candle started out, let's see, okay. Maybe it's just what's showing on my YouTube studio. All right, I'll tell you. I've got 3 minutes till then. We might get our push yet. Let's see. Looks like bulls might be stepping up. Let's see if they want to take it to the next pivot point. What started out as a bearish candle is now looking bullish. And that looks like sort of like a bull flag, not ideal, but potential. Let's see if they can pop it higher. Here comes some buyers. Might get tagged into this thing. If we do, we will hope for about 30 points to the upside. Let's see where my target's going to be. About 57. Okay. Now, we also might have just gotten a fake out breakout because there's that trend line. This is my trading view chart. "44 seconds to go. Let's see if the bulls step up in a big way. There's buying going on with 13 seconds. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 10:05 right now. Alright, if I get tagged in, my stop loss is going to be at 8:09, which is 1 point below this candle. Okay. Oh, okay. Well, in that case, then there's a big delay on the screen that I see. That's good to know. I'm about to be tagged in. Let's hope it works. All right. Move my stop to where I said I would. And hope we get a pump, but it's not looking good right now, but we'll see. Yeah, this doesn't look very good. Okay, you want to see the bulls. Now there we go. You want to see them really come in and push it, and as price accelerates, look, okay. Let's see it accelerate higher. All right. There we go. Come on, bulls. Punch it up to that pivot. Let's see. There we go. Come on. Punch it up. Let's see here. Come on, bulls. Yeah, the low is 810, so my stop would be right beneath it, which is 809. Whoops, where'd that go? There we go. Yeah, it's looking weak now. You really want to, you wanted to see the bulls punch it to the pivot. This is looking like it might be a chop channel type of day, unless the bulls can finish really strong. Come on, bulls. Anything can happen. Now we just wait and see. Two minutes left in the candle. Let's see if there's bears, if the bears trying to pick the top here get smoked. They might get smoked. There are a lot of people trying to pick a top, and the bulls may make them pay, or the people trying to pick the top might be successful. A minute and a half left in the candle. It looks like we have some buying going on. We want to see this candle close really strong and make this final push. So now we're at about break even. Come on, bulls. You want to see this thing close real strong and pop. A minute left. Let's see who wins the battle. Who wins the battle? Are the bulls going to win the battle? Or the bears? What do you think, Holden? "40 seconds. Come on, bulls. Let's pop it. Let's go. Looking good. Let's go. Keep it going. Keep it going. Anything can happen. 7 seconds. anything can happen. All right, let's see if price goes and tests that pivot point up ahead. Come on, bulls. Punch it to that pivot. There's a song by Tom Petty called "The Waiting is the Hardest Part." You ever heard it? Oh, the waiting is the hardest part. Come on, guys, push it. It's getting closer to the magnet. Let's see if the programs can test the magnet. Before it, I believe it will reverse to the EMA eventually, but I would like to see it test this pivot point first. But what I want and what will happen might be two separate things. Okay, about 10 points away. Let's go. All right, getting closer. 7 points away. I'm gonna make this a risk-free trade now. In case it reverses on me, I won't take a loss. Let's go. Pop it. Poppy, poppy, there we go. All right, there's my, what I call the pivot point magnet. Now, I do fully expect a rotation down to the EMA. We'll check my other chart here. Okay, that was a beautiful pivot point magnet. Let's see. Expect selling to come in and a rotation lower. See right here? See how price tested that level? And where are we? We've got the EMA way down here. Let's look at the 15 minute. Also, sometimes price can keep going. It doesn't have to go back down. Sometimes the way it frustrates participants is to to just keep going. Holden, did you catch that trade? So now we've got 15 minutes until the IBL and the IBH are set. That's inner balance low and inner balance high. That means where price has gone in the first hour of trading, the highs and the lows. If it's going to be a range day, that can often define the range. I'll be right back, guys. You're short. I'm back, everybody. This might be a bull flag. It might be the beginning of a choppy consolidation. Let's see. So you see what happened once price touched that pivot point. There was immediately some selling that went on, and it would have been reasonable to expect a rotation lower. But instead, what seems to have happened is more buyers have come in and they're about to run the stops on this bear candle, it looks like to me. Unless the bears get really strong, which they could. We are pretty high. What's a stop, right? It might work out still, but you gotta always know your risk before you get in. It might also have, if you look at it from this bigger picture, we might just be in one of those days where it just has like a spike the whole day. Like it might have a measured move up to this next pivot point. You see the volume by price. If it can get out of this range we've sort of been in, it might make the next move higher. But what you have going for you is that breakouts of ranges tend to fail. So more than likely, it is going to run back down based on what I've seen. Definitely don't want to buy too high. There's your, looks like the beginning of the move down. Yeah, I think we're gonna test the 21 now more than likely. I've changed the accounts I'm trading. I've gotten enough for the day on some of them, so I'm going to switch to a few different ones. Okay, that looks nice. 2 minutes we'll have IBL and IBH set. If you're shorting, your obvious take profit would be the EMA. So about 70 points lower. Oh man. It is another cold, rainy, gray day in Georgia. Good nap time weather. I bet Holden takes some good naps. I bet when he gets on your chest, you take some good naps. Uh-oh. What are we gonna have? Do we have the make yeah, it would be nice. Let's see what happens here. Right now we've got a little range that's formed just underneath this pivot point. So the question is, are they going to rotate it back down to test the 21 EMA, or are they going to make another move higher the next leg up? If I had to bet, I would say it goes back down to the 21. Let's see. All right, we're at 10:30. I'm going to draw my IBL and IBH. Let's see. What's the high? 867.75. We'll change that to blue. I'm going to get rid of this trend channel since it seems to have been violated. Like they went to a Diddy party. Where's the low? IBL, that was the 9:30 candle, so that's the low of the day right over here. This is looking like a big bull flag, man. If it keeps going up, low 660.5. All right, let's get this right. We might have a bullish breakout. Let's see. If so, then I'll place another order for the next pivot point here in a second. In the words of Super T, what's a stop loss? Okay. Yeah, that's looking pretty strong. Now here's another thing though. It could test the top of this bear candle and form a double top and then rotate down. That's another possibility. Let's zoom in a little. But this is at the moment looking pretty bull flaggish. So see what happened, the people that went short on this one just had their stops run. Now, that's frustration. You know, you get in a trade and you want it to move in your favor immediately. If you haven't been doing this for an amount of time, this is very easy price action to get caught in something like this. Look at the alternating candles. We have bearish, bullish, bearish, bullish. So again, what happened was after 10, price came and tested this pivot point, and we seem to be stuck just beneath it for the moment. These blue lines I've drawn are the high and low of the first hour worth of price action. So I call that the IBL and the IBH. Those are drawn. If price goes above or below that, you can get a breakout move. But most days are range days, over 60%. So if I had to guess, given this context, I would say there are pretty good odds that we rotate lower. But that being said, this could be a big bull flag. If it breaks above the IBH and makes a strong push, I'll try to target this next pivot point, because these levels I have drawn up are magnets for price. So these programs all over the world will test certain levels. And so we had a viewer in here for a second. I guess they got bored with me. I should have probably acknowledged them. Next time somebody drops in, I'll make an immediate acknowledgement. I think I was so surprised that there was another viewer I didn't know what to do. Oh, so don't acknowledge them, just let them lurk? I sort of like being acknowledged when I'm on these things. Man, look at this chop. Chop City. Okay. Gotcha. Good advice. Thank you. So let's analyze the price action with what we're dealing with right now. Let's take a up close and personal look. If you look at the volume by price on the left, it will confirm your suspicion that we're in a range of some sort. Now this range may end up to be, or a consolidation, however you want to think about it. So it may be a bull flag for the next push higher, or it could be distribution for the move lower to the 21 EMA. Time will tell. I'm not doing anything right now. I'm just waiting and watching and trying to stay awake. The decorum. Gotta have good decorum. Looks like we might be getting that push lower. Do I have any finest moments? That's my question. That trade to that pivot point was pretty fine. That was about a 30-point winner. Is price gonna roll over, or is it gonna pop higher? Time will tell. It's looking like there's some selling pressure coming in. There we go. Thinking it's gonna go to about 784. If it does that, I'm gonna get a look for a long entry back up to around this area. Only if it does that. It might not. Let's zoom in a little bit and see. Looks like the activity has died off a little. It's 10:41. It's Friday. This is pretty common around 11 o'clock for volume to really dry up. Now, just because that's common doesn't mean that it always is the case that it does nothing. A lot of times, believe it or not, around noon or so, it'll start picking up really well again. All right, hold strong, hold strong. If I were you, I'd move my stop loss to about 842. Capital preservation, capital preservation. You should be up now. You don't want to be down. Because it looks bearish, but we're still in an uptrend, and it can just as easily go back into that little range that it's been in. There might be people buying just beneath this range for a quick little scalp. So, but it's looking good for a move down to the 21 EMA, in my opinion. Target would be 783. Got 2 minutes left in this candle. Very good, very good. Let's see if we can get some continuation on this rollover. All right, here comes some buyers. Yeah, see, you know, ranges act as magnets no matter the size of the range. So even though this was like a little flaggish type of consolidation, there's still a lot of activity that goes on there, and so price is naturally drawn to the range. But Let's see if the sellers can push it down to test this 21 EMA. Then buyers will step in again. All right, there you go. That's what you want to see if you're short. That's what you want to see. Go to 783. There you go. All right. So they just ran the stops of this candle. So guys who were long here just got stopped out. But now let's see. Did bulls decide that was a good enough place to buy, or are bears going to drive it lower? This is not looking very bearish going into the close unless the buyers make a final thrust. 30 seconds left. You want to see the low of this candle being taken out. You want to see, with 25 seconds left, you want to see a dump. Ten seconds. 10 seconds. All right. New target is 786. That's about 2 points above the EMA. I think it gets there. It's looking good. I think it goes and tests that 21. Here we go. Take your target to 785. I'd lock in more profit. I'd put my stop at 821. There you go. It's a pretty move down if it continues. Come on. I think they drive it down to 85. Yeah. All right. Here we go. 85, here we come. Looking good, looking good. Hold tight. Put your stop above this 5-minute candle at 821. That way, if it reverses, you make a little something. It could go all the way to the TP. New target is 84. All right, here comes some buyers. They might be about to, hey, okay. You can't complain about 34 points. $34 is a good amount of points. Nice, well done. Yeah, man, price can move good on Friday. Surprisingly, I had always heard that you wanted to avoid Friday, and that may be good advice in a lot of ways, but in the early part of the day Friday, you get some nice price action. I mean, you know, I had that move to that pivot point. That was nice. Had that move to that pivot point. That was nice. And then you had that short. Yeah, man. That's an hour's worth of work at the gulag. A little over. Mad. with a minute and 14 to go in this candle, if you wanted to scalp, yeah, I know. Yep. Very, very fortunate, man. The markets offer lots of opportunity if you understand what's going on. And my goal with this channel is to let people get a bigger understanding of what's going on. So if you wanted to take a scalp on this, you could place and I'm not going to do it. Again, I don't need to, but I'm only going for the highest quality trades. You could be tagged in about right there. And let's see, you could have your take profit about right there. And your stop would be right beneath there. If it gets you tagged in, it might keep rotating. Might keep going, and it might test that 21. See, these guys might have bought too early. We'll see. Yeah, I think it's going to end up testing it. And then moving back up. So I'm going to get rid of that. And I'm going to prepare for a long entry if it tests that 21. Okay. It's got to get to 88 for me to get in. See, he wants to punish the longs who got in there before it tested a key level. They like to test key levels. So there's, bulls are about to be punished, and then it'll probably rotate. All right, just tested the 21. Buying occurred, but you can't get in now because it's too early. I've made that mistake a few times. And look, keep in mind, this is Friday. You know? Like they say price doesn't move well on Friday. Well, this is looking pretty sweet to me. There's a lot of opportunity. Let's see if price punches down. Yes, that's right. You gotta wait. It looks good, and look at that. There are some people who can't wait. I'm gonna wait. These people couldn't wait. Look what happened to them. Right here. They couldn't wait. Maybe. Oh, that would be awesome. I'd love that. If it rotates to the IBL, oh, that's a place to buy. Makes sense. Most days are ranges. Trend lines. We're going to test this pivot point in VWAP. If we do that now, we may get a retest of the EMA. Let's see what happens. I'm going to zoom in a little bit. If it gets here, we might get a quick pop to the 21 again. All right, makes sense. Just remember to let it close. If you got long at VWAP, in my opinion, you would want to target the 21 EMA. But let's see how this candle closes now. It might not get down there. We got a minute and 24 and we've got buyers coming in. There's the bigger picture. We got a minute left. "57 seconds. Look at the volume on that candle. A lot of activity. It's the highest activity we've had since the first hour. "35 seconds. A lot of buying going on. Now there's some sellers coming in. All right. About to get I think you're about to get a test of the VWAP here. Yes, it is a tricky spot. You're right. You just gotta wait and see. See, price wants to test these levels. All right. This pivot point just got tested, okay? You see it got tested and then buying happened. Let's get a little zoom in. All right, let's see if the VWAP gets tested. If buying comes in, okay, VWAP just got tested. Now here's the trick. All of these levels have gotten tested. Buying is starting to happen, okay? If this thing closes bullish, I would go long here and target this high. But with this much time left in the candle, you might get your wish and price might come on down to the IBL. Woo! Look at that. Gotta wait, you gotta wait. Gotta wait, you still have 3 minutes. It could work out, but we could also get a dump to IBL. Here comes some buyers. I'm gonna prepare my order. Let's see. Let's say 768, okay. So, make sure I've got my right account pulled up. 438, yeah, okay. I'm gonna use a small size. Whoa. No, I don't want that. Oh no, what is this? Emergency, abort. My NinjaTrader is not working. Okay, close. Yes. No. Alright, I'm gonna have to restart NinjaTrader. I nearly had a disaster. Did you see what happened? It was putting on an order for like 16 micros. Not what I wanted. Let me see if I can get NinjaTrader back to what it's supposed to do. I've still got time to... Okay, good. Alright, we've still got time to place the order. Alright. Good. What is this? What is going on here? I don't understand this. It's not supposed to be flashing. Well, if my NinjaTrader was working right, I would go high above that candle and target that, but it's not working right, so that stinks. Let me try it again. I'm gonna miss this trade. Hold on, let me open up a different workspace. I don't want to miss this trade. It's gonna be a good trade. MNQ. Okay, make sure I'm trading the right account. I'll go with 934. 934. Okay, let's see if I can make this happen. Let's target the top of this 934. Bye. Well, we're going to place our stop right below the signal candle until the entry candle closes. Let's see here. I'm expecting a rotation. Now this is a tricky spot because although there is a lot of, I'm actually going to go with lower size. It's not my most favorite position. Okay, and see. It might be chopping, but we'll see. We've got you obviously had some buyers right here. Now, it could be, I gotta make sure I have the right account pulled up. Hold on. 934, okay. 934, yeah. All right, that's good. Let me look at my 5-minute here on TradingView. So my idea is to enter about right there. I'm going to put my stop my initial stop would be down here, and then when the entry candle closes, if I get tagged in, then I'll move my stop up if I get tagged in. If we get tagged in, my take profit, I want it to be up here. Let's see what happens though. We might have a continued rotation to the IBL. The red line, okay, that is yesterday's prior session high. So since it already got tested in the overnight, I can get rid of it. Thanks for pointing that out to me. But interestingly enough, that looked to be a point of support for price, wasn't it? What's the high of this? 767? Let me make sure I'm getting tagged in at 768. If it does that. Okay, we got some buyers. Let's see if they can make these bears pay. And then rotate it higher. I've got if this gets tagged in, it'll be a 3 micro size. So I'm fine with that. All right, if I get tagged in, so I'm gonna place my stop actually now because there are only a few seconds left. It would be below that candle if I get tagged in at 733.5. Let's see what happens. I'm only trading one account with this on my NinjaTrader since it gave me such problems a few minutes ago. I don't know if you saw it, but it was trying to place like 16 micros on when I was only wanting 3. So I had to close that workspace out. All right, we might get a continued move lower. Let's see what happens. Or, here we go. What's gonna happen here? Are the bulls gonna rotate it higher? There's a lot of liquidity to be had. You see, when you have big bars like this, that stands for liquidity. Looks like nobody's making a move right now. Need more coffee. I'm a coffee fiend, man. I am a coffee fiend. All right. Come on, buyers. Let's rotate it higher. All right, there we go. Now I expect them, if it doesn't get stopped, this is a little risky because you got the 21 EMA in the way, but I expect price to rotate to the top of this this former consolidation if we get tagged in. We'll see. All right, the low is so 734.25. Okay, that would be my stop loss. That's my first thing I want to have is my stop loss in the proper place. About 3 minutes left in this candle. Let's see if the bulls can make a statement or if the bears smack them down. Uh-oh. Looks like the bears might be making a statement. We might get a rotation down to IBL, just like you said. We'll see. Yeah, I'm gonna wait and see what happens here. My risk would have been a lot bigger than I liked. Got a minute and 52 seconds. Who's gonna dictate what price does? Will it be the bulls or the bears, or will there be agreement? A minute and 26 seconds. Uh-oh, I'm gonna re-enter my order. Looks looks pretty good if they can buy it. Thoughts on the last two candles? Indecision. You had buying going on here with this wick. The next one, there were some buyers, but they couldn't push it above the stops, and it had long wicks and a very small body, so a doji type of candle. And let's see how this one closes. "30 seconds. Will it be another doji? If it's another doji, you might have another potential range forming right here, but there could be a decisive move one way or the other." I just think it's going to rotate lower based on how it's moving. Yeah, well, we'll see. I'm going to take, you see, this could be the start of this could be a new channel low. Let me show you my trading view. Ooh. That thesis is done. Yeah, I think it's gonna, gosh, I don't know. You know, when they say you can't really tell, that means you're in a range. But in the event that it starts popping, let's look at our 200. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to put a buy stop above this candle. It's a little more clear on the 15 minutes, see? All right. Hey, here comes that move to IBL. Whew. It might. Psych levels are pretty key. It'll probably respect it at first and then get some buying, or it'll keep cracking down to the IBL. Okay. Good. I've still got my buy order in case it starts rotating up. That's good. This is the 15 minute now. When price gets choppy, it could be, but there's still 3 minutes left to go in this 15 minute candle. And keep in mind, price likes to test IBL and IBH, but there is buying coming in. I don't know, that's a good question. Let's take a look. There was clearly a break above this level. What fib level are we at? That's a good question. Fib retracement. When you do a fib retracement, you want to do it from body to body. So that would be just about the 50% level. See? That 0.5, that means price has retraced halfway from that move. So we're currently at about a 50 fib level for the retracement. Got about 2 minutes left in this 15 minute candle. If we got a reversal here, the VWAP, and it closed bullish, that would be a very good signal for a rotation higher. We'll just have to see what happens. Let the market tell us what's going on. Looks like in this final minute we've got some buyers stepping up. I would place my stop at 707 if it turns bullish. That's a huge stop, but that's all right. You see how buyers came in below the low of this bull candle? So these stops got run and then some buyers came. The bears might have something to say about it though. When you get candles with long wicks on both ends, that's a hallmark of indecision. And I think it's more likely we get a rotation lower and then a move back higher. This would be a sweet place to go long right here. Talking sweet. Yeah, the bears are stepping in the last few seconds. Let's see if they drop it. 10 seconds to go, and that is looking bearish. I'm going to take off this order on NinjaTrader. Don't think I'll be using that one for now. And let's monitor the action. We'll see what happens. Let us see if we get that complete rotation to the IBL. I would love to go long after price tests it, but might not get there. Yeah, let's check the volatility today. The volatility is actually less than yesterday. It's a little under 16. The VIX is 15.75 at the moment. I'm gonna go get some coffee. The Fib 70, probably about right there based on the buying going on. If I had to guess, let's see. Almost there. The 71 is like 25,686. Whoa. All right, I'm gonna go get some coffee. It might. Psych levels are important. I'll be right back, guys. Guess who's back? Back again. Mr. Joseph's back. Tell a friend. Guess who's back? Guess who's back? And guess who's back? Guess who's back? Guess who's back? I'll be looking to buy if we can test this IBL in this 200 and get a reversal. Although the 700 psych level might be holding pretty good. See how buyers are stepping in? Let's take a look at the 5. Here comes an IBL test potentially. Maybe not. That might have been the tweezer bars. Remember that Anna Cooling book about Forex? I'm gonna place an order to go at 711.5 with a test of the VWAP. All right, think it's gonna test VWAP at 735. Let's see. My target's gonna be 735. Yeah, here we go. I might be a little early to this one. Price might have wanted to test IBL, but that was a pretty good tweezer bottom. It's sort of, when you think about it on some time frame, like a double bottom. So let's just see what happens. All right, we're in profit. We move my take profit to right there, and it might not work out, but it might. There we go, let's push it. Poppy. I'm gonna lower it to 735. Got 4 points so far. It's very possible it keeps dumping though. Let's see if the bulls can push it up to VWAP. They might not. Three minutes left in this candle. Got some buyers coming in. Let's see if they want to test the VWAP. I show a VWAP level at my target 735. Oh yeah, I think it's gonna hit it. Let's go. Let's hold it now. This is the thing. You gotta hold all the way. 35. We got 13 points. Let's keep going. 10 more. 10 more. Test that VWAP. Uh-oh. Come on. Let's go. This is the toughest part. Come on. Pop it. Pop it up. Poppy. 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 Come on. You can do it. Let's go. 5 more points. Come on. Push it up, bulls. Push it. Push it. Almost there. Don't reverse on me now. It got to my level and didn't fill. Come on. This is the toughest thing, man. Look at that. Come on, pop it up. Maybe. I'm taking 5 points. I don't like the way selling's coming in. It should have popped up. Hey, at least it wasn't a loss. Just don't like, if the bulls were gonna take it all the way up, I wanted to see it pop. They probably still will. But I got scared when it got to within like a point of my take profit and it started doing that business. At that point, I just say, all right. And look, as sure as I get out, now it's going to pop to 735. Let's see. So when it comes to these magnets I refer to, yeah, there it goes. Watch it. There, it's going to hit it now. Watch. Seven more points. I should have stuck with it. So frustrating when I do that. Like I know what's likely to happen, and then I end up getting out too early. Yeah, it's gonna pop to 35. Watch, it's at 33.5 right now. Come on. There, you got another point that pops. There it went, it just hit it. It just hit it. Okay, let's see what our next move can be. Well, that was still a good trade. I'm gonna take a look at the 15. All right, if it gets above this candle, monster move higher. Look at this. You wanna talk about running stops? Let's wait and see what happens with this 15-minute. That's right. Did you make a profit or a loss? At least it was a little profit, right? Let's see, I mean, what was account number 934? I mean, you know, it's not a loss. On to the next one. 2 points. That's right. It's not a loss. But did you see that, you know, I had a good idea of what was going to happen, and just because I've been looking at these charts for months and years, and it happened. I just got too scared, like a little baby. Like baby Holden would have done a better job than me of staying in that trade. All right, here's my next idea. I think if price gets above this bear candle, yeah, you're right, it could. Which is why I'm placing my buy stop above this bear candle. That's good thinking. It could certainly test this level next. It could also keep moving down and finally test IBL. This is the 5-minute. Welcome to the stream. We've got some good Friday action, Friday price action. Despite what they tell you, Fridays can be good. We've had some real good trades today. If you're just joining in, earlier we caught this move to this pivot point. We caught this move to this pivot point, and just had a good move to the VWAP that unfortunately I got out a little early on, and now we're just waiting to see what the market gives us to work with next. Here with Mr. Joseph Trades on a rainy Friday afternoon in Athens, Georgia. Just chilling out, looking at some price action. This is my 5-minute chart. That's where I make executions. Let's take a look at the 15-minute and see where we are in the big context. All right. So you might be saying, what are we looking at? Well, this line is the 200 EMA. Okay, we're in an uptrend, but price is rotating lower currently. See, on my charts, the up moves are white and the down moves are purple for psychological reasons. It's less triggering than green and red. Now, this is the VWAP, this little line. This blue line is what we call the interbalance low, which is the lowest that price made the first hour of trading. This line up here is the interbalance high. And so we're just waiting to see if price tests around here. If it does, it will be potentially a good opportunity to go long as price rotates higher to take out that liquidity. But we'll just have to wait and see. All right, so this is my 15-minute chart. I expect price to hopefully rotate lower and test these levels. That would be a great place to go long, and then we'll go from there. But right now, we just have to wait and watch. Now, what could also happen is price could move up real quick and take out the stop losses of these bears who went short. So that's another thing that could happen. Let's take a look at the 5-minute chart. You can see we're sort of, there's our little move. I think we're going to test this, the low of the session, and then get a chance for a rotation higher to the VWAP. All right, they're going to test the low of the session in my opinion. Let's see. Here we go. Taking it down. Let's get down there and then we'll, all right. Okay. Within 2 points is close enough. Let's see. 662, that got to 662. Okay, now it tested it for sure. Okay, now the next question is, do we hit the 200? That's the next question. I hope so. That would be an even better place to buy, wouldn't it? Okay. All right. Now what do? Now we wait. Does price keep going or does it reverse at IBL? Looks like here's some buyers. Gonna place a buy stop above this candle if it closes bullish. All right. Let's go. Okay, buy stop at $6.99. Better hurry, here come the buyers. Better quit celebrating. $6.99. I want the candle to close, but I'm pretty confident in this setup, so I'm going to go long for a test of the VWAP about here. I'm pretty confident. Where's VWAP at? It's at 733 would be my target. All right, let's see what happens. Because price has already tested the IBL and the 200, so that makes it a good place to reverse. The high is 698.25. Okay. Let me lower this so I can get a better price. All right. And VWAP would be at 733. We still have a minute left. The bears might decide to keep taking it lower. But look at all these confluences up here. High confluence. You got a lot of areas that price would want to be drawn to. See, 732 would be the target. All right. Keep in mind, it could keep moving down too, but it just tested 2 key levels, so it would be sick, but we'll see. We'll have to see what happens. With 16 seconds left, do the buyers pop it? We've tested IBL, so we're at the bottom of the range. You want to go long at the bottom of a range. That's the conventional wisdom. All right, think we're going to get tagged in. We'll see. Okay. Programs now want to what do the programs want to do? Make sure I got my order in the right place. So yeah, my target is going to be between the VWAP and the EMA. I'm going to put my target at 736. Here we go. We're going to get tagged in. Target at 736. Stop loss below the signal candle. Okay. Let's see if the bulls can. Well, we'll see. I hope so. You gotta, but you're thinking about it right. Where is the pain? The pain is for the people who shorted at the bottom of the range. You don't want to short at the bottom of a range in general. Now, sometimes there will be breakouts from ranges. That happens. And I remember when I first started trading, I did that all the time. I would always buy at the top of a range and short at the bottom. But sometimes you will get those continuations. Let's just wait and see. We might get a continued flush. If they decide they need to take it even lower before bulls step in, all right, I might have to reassess the situation. Let's look at our 5-minute here. All right, here come the buyers. All right, my take profit would still be about I'd say 735. My stop loss would be 665 and a quarter. All right. It makes sense that there would be buying at the bottom of a range, but sometimes what makes sense isn't what happens. But here we go. Let's prepare to place the stop loss and the take profit if we get tagged in. A minute and 46 to go in this candle. So far this candle is trying to decide what to do. I think it wants to go higher. Here comes some buyers. What do you think, Holden? What do you think, buddy? Oh man, did you see that? Oh, and then the seller smacked it right back down. Now let's see if the people that just sold that pop get punished. Looking strong, looking strong. Prepare to be tagged in. Let's see what happens. Hopefully it rotates higher. This time, if we get tagged in, my goal for discipline, yeah, I know. My goal for discipline if we get tagged in will be to hold either to take profit or the stop loss. And I'm accepting the risk before I get in the trade. I'm only trading one eval on this because I've done well in all my others today. All right, let's see what happens. We got 24 seconds. Can the buyers make a statement? Ten seconds. Let's see what happens here. Again, my entry is above the last bear candle because that's where their pain point is. Now they may reassert themselves. This action's gotten a little sloppy. In situations like we just saw, what I want to see is an immediate burst past the pain point of the bears who shorted at the low of the range, and then a violent move higher. But again, what I want doesn't always happen. I'll still take this trade though because it's logical. Let's see. See if we get tagged in. Oh. If you really had a big set of gonads on you, you could get in here and hold for a move all the way to the top, which is where it'll probably go by the end of the session. But you would want to just do like one micro. Let's pop it. Let's do something. I don't like this choppy little range action. See these impulsive moves. That's what it's all about. Okay. Let's look at TradingView and see what we're dealing with. Now look right here. VWAP and the 21 EMA are right together. Okay, so I'll be targeting 731 with a stop loss of 679.75. Okay, targeting 731 with a stop of 679.75. I think we're going to get our move higher. Let's see. Man, those bears aren't giving up easy, are they? They're a bunch of cob gobblers. Bunch of cob gobblers. Come on, bulls. Make them pay. Make them pay. Looking pretty bullish. Here we go, about to be tagged in. I have a feeling that I want to see a strong continuation once we're tagged. If it immediately starts going down, yeah, that won't be good, but that's the risk you have to take. So use a size that's appropriate. All right, we're in. Okay, we're immediately in profit, which is good. Let me raise my take profit to 31. And then my stop is below the entry candle. Okay, now we just see what happens. Let's see if the bulls can do it. Oh Lord, here come the bears. we might be the ones in the world of hurt. Yeah, look at this choppy crap. Come on, bulls. Take it higher. Let me see what the bottom of this candle is. The bottom is 670.75, so I will place my stop loss there. It's at 670.25. That's fine. Come on, bulls. 26 seconds left. This is a crucial time. Make a statement. Oh no, don't give me a doji. We're down 9 points with 7 seconds. Not looking too good. But it is what it is. Come on, bulls. Punch it. Alright, take it higher. You got it. Let's go. Come on. Alright, can you take me higher? I'll sing it when it gets to about 15 points in profit. Keep going. Come on. Alright. Push it, push it. No, don't do that. Don't be a cuckmaster. Keep it going. Let's get up there. You got it. Come on. Come on, bulls. Make a statement. See, I'm going to lower my take profit to 729. Although if it keeps acting like this, it may not get there. But yeah, this is some crummy price action, man. Come on, bulls. Come on. Punch it. It's time to make a move. It's time to make a move. We got 4 points, but none of that really matters because there's still like 2.5 minutes in the candle. So why did I take this trade? Because it was at the IBL and it's a high percentage trade. However, looks like I might be the one in pain. Let's see. The bears just came back with a vengeance. Let's see if the bulls can take it over in the final 2 minutes of this candle. Come on, bulls. We got a battle. Push it. When I take these types of trades, ideally you want to see big bodies on the candles, like not this junk. Like, let's hope that this closes out with a big body on top. If this closes out really strong, I'll feel really good about it. But it could also, you got 20 points? Wow. That's good, man. Good job. Nice little scalp. Nice little scalperino. Nice little scalperino. Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the stream. You might be wondering, so why are you in this trade? and I will show you in just a moment. Let's see what happens first. I've got to give this candle a chance to close. Got 46 seconds left. We've got some sort of ugly price action, but this was a logical trade because it was a long at the low of the range. The IBL was set in the first hour of trading. I'll explain that in just a moment. Let's get the bulls. Come on, bulls. All right, that's better than it was. Let's pop it higher. Let's pop it higher. 11 seconds left. Okay. All right, got a couple of points so far. Let's see. Target's going to be 729. That hadn't changed. Come on. Here we go. Let's pop it. Don't stop it. Let's pop it. Let's rotate it all the way to that VWAP. Let's see if it can make the rotation. It might not. That's okay. I'm going to raise my stop to reduce my risk to right there. There's also a chance this is a big ugly bear channel. That could be the case. But my logic for this trade was that it was at the low of the IBL. It was at the IBL, and so I thought that buying around the IBL for a rotation higher made sense. So I'm only trading 5 micros on an eval account. So let's just see if this works. We've got about 3 minutes left in this candle. Let's see. Let's see if the bulls can take it higher. Uh-oh, here comes some bulls. Let's run it up. Let's run it up. Let's get that vacuum effect. All right, that's looking good. Now we need some continuation. We need some continuation. All right, pop it. All right, pop it up. Okay. All right, I think it's we'll make it a risk-free trade now. Let's see. Last time I got out, it ended up popping, so this time I want to try to hold it. Although it's tough to hold when you have 20 points of profit. Yeah. Risk-free. Let's set our take profit at 28. We'll say 27 3/4. Come on. Poppy, Poppy, can you take me higher to the VWAP and EMA? Come on. Got 21 points of profit. Come on, guys. Push it up. Pop it. Pop it. Yes, sir. That was a great trade. All right. Yes. Now, let's not rest on our laurels. Let's not rest on our laurels. Let's see what our next opportunity could be. That worked out to perfection. Worked out to perfection. Now, let's take a look at the 15-minute chart. What do we have? Well, we've got the potential for price to inflict pain upon these bears and rotate higher. So I'm going to place I don't want to place a buy stop there because it's at a pivot point, but I will get long again at 768 for a move to the 856 level. So let's prepare for that. And since I'm going to be using the 15-minute chart, my stop loss is going to have to be a lot bigger. So I'm only going to trade with 2 micros on that one. Welcome to the stream, everyone. This is Mr. Joseph Trades. Welcome all. I've just gotten started with my stream, so I love seeing people come in and seeing how I think about the markets. What I'm doing right now, in case you're wondering, is I'm looking at the 15-minute chart, and what I'm thinking may happen. I like to think about the market in terms of liquidity and pain. So if price can move above this bear candle, there's going to be a lot of liquidity to the upside. I think price can rotate back up here. So I'm about to place a very small order in case that happens. Nothing in the markets is guaranteed, but it's a very high probability situation. Why? Well, you see these blue lines? We had a range of the day. That's the IBL, which is the low that price made in the first hour of trading. That's the IBH, which is the high that price made in the first hour of trading. So price got to that pivot point, it tested the IBL and the 200 EMA, and now it looks like it wants to rotate higher. So I better quit talking and prepare my order. Let's see, 767.25 will be my entry. All right, let's go with two micros at 767.25. Okay, there we go. This is my NinjaTrader execution platform. Looks like we might have a nice looking channel type of day. Let me draw a little trend line here. I don't want it to be green. No. Doctor, there were 3 people in here. Can you believe that? Now we have 2, so whoever else is watching, man, thank you. Feel free to comment or ask a question. This channel is to help people understand how I think about the markets. There, we'll do it like so. So there was an obvious area of support. Why? Hey, somebody else is on. Hello, welcome to my channel. Thanks for joining. This channel is meant to help people understand how I think about the markets. And so if you have any questions, feel free to ask. What I'm doing now is I'm preparing for a long entry based upon the pain of these bears on the 15-minute candle, with the expectation of a move back to the high of the day. So let me show you what I'm thinking about. So the high is about 767. I want to enter about 767.5. Let's see. That would be an entry. I want to give a disclaimer too. This is not financial advice. This is for education purposes only. Okay. Doctor, we need to come out with that for my screen. Let's see. I'd place my stop about 768. I'm about to get tagged into this thing. There's my stop. My goal would be, I don't want to be greedy. I'd say about right there, about 835. 835 would be good. Whoops. Let's see if this one works out. That last trade was beautiful. Trying to clean my chart up a little bit. Trying to get a little neater here. Where's 835? Okay. That'll be my target if I get tagged in. Now that may not happen. May not happen. We might be forming another range right here. So that's a possibility. There's still 6 seconds left in this candle, and it's looking a lot less bullish than it did earlier. But let's see what the next candle brings. The good thing is, if I get tagged in, my stop loss will be below this next candle. So I'm gonna move it. That'll be a lot less risk. Okay. Lord, I gotta get another account to trade. Man, what a day, what a day. I'm up so much on all my accounts, I don't want to risk anymore. Let me get another eval real quick so I can do it that way. I don't feel like risking any of my, good Lord, what a day. What a day, what a day. Woo! Wow. Man, that gets me pumped. Woo! Here's another possibility in looking at this chart. You see how it tested the EMA? We could rotate back down and form a double bottom at the IBL, which guess what? That would be another great place to go long. All right, let's switch our focus. Let's switch our focus. Let's switch our focus to the 5 minute. All right, I'm gonna take this off. Well, I don't know. Let's see what it does. I'll give it a chance. Man, I'm getting hungry. I haven't eaten all day and it's noon. What am I to do? I'm gonna take these levels off. I think we're gonna get a retest of the IBL possibly. And guess what? That'd be a great place to go long. Guys, stay with me. I'll be right back. Mr. Joseph Trades has to go grab a quick bite. I'll be back in 2 minutes where I'm gonna pass out. And then one of you guys are going to have to call 911. I'll be right back. Woo! Can you take me higher to a place where I see? Can you take me higher? Oh, look at that. We got some buyers. Well, there again, these bears may be taken to task. Okay, I'm going to place an entry at 761.75 just in the case. Oh, thank you. Let's see. Now keep in mind that price is around the 21 EMA, okay? The 21 EMA is flat. EMAs are levels of value. So when price is hovering around them, it sort of gets sticky sometimes. So if I'm expecting a break, that can happen, but it's got to have some real push. It's a possibility though, which is why I'm going to enter this trade if it happens. I said I was going to get a new eval. What account can I still trade on? Because I'm about to get triggered in. Let's see. What's the lowest one? That's what I need to do. I need to bring one up. The lowest one is 438. So let me switch to 438. I definitely don't want to erode any of the profits I've already had in any of my other accounts, but I can try to bring one up. So on this account, I've already made $573 today, but it's still the lowest of all of them. So let me go ahead and place an order there. You might say, why are you placing an order right there? Well, when you trade, you have to know where pain is. And so people or participants who shorted right here at this 21 EMA, see, they were expecting a move lower. But if that doesn't happen and price takes out their stops, that's gonna be fuel for the move higher, which I think we might have. Now another thing you'll see on Fridays is sometimes you'll get triangle days, which those are tough. If it's a triangle day, if it goes above this and rotates back down, that's probably going to be it for the stream today, because it's more than likely a triangle. But let me show you what I'm talking about. It might not be. We might get our big rotation. Let me show you what I'm talking about here. I just need a line, okay? So that was 9:30. We'll do that. And then see. That's a possibility for ugliness. How do I get rid of these? Remove all drawings. Yes. Oh, yeah, there we go. Good. I like drawing on my trading view much better. All right, I've got my right account I'm going to trade, which is 438. Okay. Yeah. All right. All right, now we wait and watch. We're just fishing. We're fishing on a Friday fishing. I'm just waiting for when the water's right and casting our line out. and then see if we can land the fish. Do y'all remember back in the 90s, there was that rapper named Mike Jones. He had one hit. It was that, back then they didn't want me, now I'm hot, they all on me. Well, the other day, I wanted to listen to that song for some strange reason. I don't know why. I can't explain it. But I went to his discography and I said, I'll give this guy a chance for a few more songs. Every other song he had sounded the exact same, so I think that's why he was a one-hit wonder, if I had to guess. So are we gonna chop around at the EMA, or are we gonna make a move? Looks like price has died on the vine right here. Might have to call it a day. But that doesn't mean he can't still trade. If it were me, these are a few things I would be looking at. If I were going to trade the rest of the day, I would look for a move higher to test the 852 level. Okay, that's one possibility. Another is you can look for price to test IBL again and then rotate higher. That's another possibility. And then let's not forget, beneath us we still have several levels that can be tested. We've got a pivot point, an overnight low, another pivot point in a prior session low. So let's see if we get anything of interest. Welcome back. I was afraid you left me. I've only got 2 viewers right now, so there's absolutely no pressure for you to stay on. No, seriously though, I appreciate you being here as long as you want to be, and I hope you're finding some value. This really helps me when I get to talk about. It helps me when I get to talk about the action and what I'm seeing. It helps me to be more disciplined and actually do what I say I'm going to do. Today I've had a few times where I've been able to hold the trade until the take profit, and I've had one time where I wasn't able to. So, thank you, doctor. Let's see what you sent me. I like the music. Wait, that's the live stream. What's going on here? I'm confused. We'll hash that out for next time. The music I don't hear when I'm doing this. You have to forgive me, guys. I've only been streaming less than a week. I'm in quite a... Hey, welcome to the stream. Welcome to the stream. Mr. Joseph Trades here on a late fall Friday afternoon. Just trying to see if we have any opportunities in the markets. They always give you opportunities. You just have to be patient for the best ones. That's the whole game. The whole game of trading is being patient for the best opportunities. And so we've had a few today. If you weren't here earlier, wow, we've had some great opportunities today. I'll try to do a recap at some point and send it to my channel later today. But man, just a great day all the way around. I don't usually do this because I don't really want to be like boastful or anything, but for somebody who's wondered if I actually know what I'm doing, this is the kind of day I've had so far. Like there's 2,000, 3,000, like a little over $4,000 today. So, you know, I've been doing this for a while, and you know, I love it. The markets are very interesting to me. It's just something that it's like a big game, you know. If you learn how to play the game, then you can benefit from playing the game well. You just have to think about this as a big game. And all over the world right now, there are people like you and me. There are institutions, hedge funds, high frequency trading firms, all over the world. Any country you can name with an internet connection and data, all the market participants are creating these price movements. Now, do we have a lot of influence on price movement? No, but we can see what the big guys are doing, and that's how we can benefit. So if you can see what the big players are doing and wait for your optimal times, welcome to the stream. Welcome to the stream. For a minute there, we had 4 people, all-time high. Wow, how cool is that? Well, 2 of them just dropped out, but there's still that one person in here who's sticking with me. So maybe you'll tell someone about it, and maybe we can grow this thing. I would love that. But as I was saying, the cool thing about the markets, it's really cool, is all of the market participants create these patterns which are repeatable. And if you can develop a sense of pattern recognition, and you develop your patience, and you keep your risk under control, you know, you can have some success in these markets. So now we're just waiting. Mr. Joseph Trades here on a wet, cold, rainy Friday afternoon. Just seeing if we're gonna, there was a little something. Let's see what's going on here. But you know, price is doing nothing more right now than returning to value. And what do I mean by that? Value, in my opinion, are places like the 21 EMA and the VWAP. And do you see how I'm going to zoom in on this a little so you can see it better. Do you see how they're so close together? This is the 21 EMA. This is the VWAP, okay? Check it out. So price has been hanging around it. And so there's not a large imbalance in value right now, which means that a lot of the market participants are in agreement about price. And so you don't want to really be trading in the, hey, welcome to the stream. You don't really want to be trading in this environment right now because it's a bit choppy. You see you have overlapping bodies. You've got a flat and very close EMA and VWAP. So wait until price gets really out of value, or is making an obvious move to a logical market objective before you get in a trade. And I'll explain that. I'll give you my thought process. Now what do we have? They might be trying to retest this IBL where buying occurred earlier, and I was able to catch this move back up to the VWAP and EMA. Then again, they might just be chopping it around. We'll see. What I'm expecting for the rest of the day, this is the 15-minute chart, okay? You see, in the morning we had this move up to pivot point. News helped propel it. It was quite a catalyst. Then we had the move back down to the VWAP, okay? And then the market tested the 200 EMA and it tested the IBL. And for the past, half hour or so, we've just been sort of stuck in this chop range. So there's not too much to do right now but wait and see what happens. It's a little sleepy right now. Just like me, I'm a little sleepy. I feel like this price action, just a little sleepy. If you wanted to, you could probably get a quick move up to the EMA. You could place a buy stop about 25,708. And you could target a couple of points below the EMA, which is 719. And you could probably place a stop loss beneath this, but that's only if it moves above this green candle. I don't think it's going to, but then again it might. Let's see what happens. And why would I do that? Because price is oftentimes drawn to value. That's the concept of what my trading is about, is momentum and price returning to value. I have two concepts. Okay, so that thesis has been shot out the window. All right. Why? Because this was my signal candle, this green one or white one, as the case may be, and price went beneath it. So that being said, it could still make a push toward the VWAP. I just wouldn't want to take the trade because it's sort of chopping. Watch it go above it anyway. 708. 708 to 719. Possible 11-point winner. Let's see. Could happen. Could happen still. You could get tagged in about 708. You could target 719. And your stop loss would be below the entry candle. If it happens, it might not. Looks like it wants to keep going down. All right, if it tags you in, you would put a stop beneath the entry candle right here. It might not tag you in though. Price is just going to sleep. It might work. Also, there's all this liquidity right here, this buy side liquidity. from the bears who shorted. See, the market wants to hurt as many people as possible at all times. So you always have to think about where the pain is. And try not to be the one receiving the pain. And price likes to return to value. So let's see if it does that. Looking good. You'd be tagged in right there. Let's see if price makes the move. I think it will. Okay, so with 7 seconds left, let's see if that was a fake stop run or a move to buy side liquidity. All right, let's see if it goes up to 719. That would be logical. It might go right back down, you just never know. Well, let's see what happens. I'm not taking this trade myself. It's not worth the risk reward for me, but I'm just using it to illustrate how price can move and try to run stops and give people pain. And see, there's a lot of pain on this bear candle for people who were short. And then you have an area of value above, which is why it's pretty likely that price returns to the value and inflicts pain on the bears of this candle. But we'll have to see. The bears may come in and short it lower. Anything can happen in the markets. But if you take a trade, what you have to do, hey, welcome to the chat, welcome to the chat. Welcome, Mr. X Shell. Great trading today. How about you, Mr. X Shell? Are you doing good in your trading? Have you had a good? I don't probably need to like type and talk if you're listening to me, but I've never interacted with another viewer besides Dr. Newman. So Marshall, you're my first viewer of my live stream who is not one of my friends or family. So welcome, welcome. Hope you're doing well. Let me know if you have any questions about what I'm doing or in general about trading. And we'll go from there. Let's see what price does. Looks like it just wants to chop. Maybe we get that bull push. We'll see. Yeah, trading's been going really good today. Every account I have is green. Here, I'll show you since you asked. So my trading's been going real well today. It's like these top two are funded accounts, and the rest of these down here are evals. So those are take profit trader evals. Some of them I'm getting close to passing, making progress, and those are funded accounts. So doing good, having a good day. All right, looks like if you were to have taken this trade, you would be concerned that it's not really popping up, but it still could, you know. It's just Friday afternoon. Things slow down. The Wolves of Wall Street are out having their martinis and lunch. All right, if it goes lower, it could retest the IBL, maybe this trend line. I hope the music's decent. I can't hear it. This is some weak price action. All right. Let's see, who's going to take control of this bar, the Bulls or the Bears? Looks like the Bears have this one. Do the Bulls then inflict pain on them? Possibly. Let's see. And see, you can think of this as a little range, so it would make sense for it to pop up here first. What would be really nice is if it popped up there and kept going. You're also your take profit level would be down around here now. Again, I'm not in this trade. It's just to illustrate how price tends to move toward value. It doesn't always do it. In this case, it may not. It may move toward another level to be tested first, which is fine. There's another Matthew Neiman on here. Huh, interesting. Okay. Dr. Neiman, did you know there's another Matthew Neiman on the chat? Perhaps you can ask him a question and see what's going on. Because I'm going to be confused if I have more than one Matthew Neiman on here. That's going to make for an interesting day in the way I don't want it to be interesting. All right, guys, so looks like the Bears won that short-term battle, but again, I would not be trading in this chop. And for those of you that just joined me, what I'm doing is not financial advice. It is for education and entertainment only. Matthew Neiman. Got two of them in the house. Bear with me a second, guys. All right, I'm back. Just watching price chop around. Not much to do here but wait. Wait until you get a big impulse move and then try to take advantage of the liquidity. All right, there's a bit of a move. Let's see where it stops. Then we might have an opportunity for a long. Hey, welcome to the stream. Welcome to the stream. Welcome everybody on a Friday afternoon. My name's Mr. Joseph Trades. I trade the MNQ, the micro NASDAQ futures. It's the only thing I trade. I've been looking at it observing it for a few years now. It moves in fairly consistent ways, which makes it, and it's volatile, so it gives a lot of opportunity. When I started trading futures, I started with the E-minis, and man, it was just too slow. It was like watching paint dry. Let's see if they want to test this IBL again or this trend line again and form a double bottom. That would be an area of interest to go long. If it gets right there, I'd be interested in going long again. All right. Yes, thank you. Please give the stream a like if you can. If you're here and you're watching, I would appreciate all the help I can get, so I don't have to go back behind the Wendy's dumpster. That was not fun. Okay, all right, they're taking price a little lower, or are we going to respect this trend line? Let's get a up close and personal view. All right, we're getting some movement. That means we're about to get some opportunity potentially. Now look, another thing. There's been a lot of buying going on here at the IBL, all these wicks. Depending on how this candle closes, I'm going to place an entry to go long targeting the 21 EMA. But we still have a lot of time left in this candle. I always like to wait until the candle closes. Sometimes you miss trades like that, and that's okay. Because the good thing about the market is there's no shortage of opportunities. But it's clear to me that you can see buying coming in at this area right here, which is where the IBL was. So 3 minutes and 42 seconds. If this thing closes bullish, I'm going to try to run some stops back up to the 20. Ooh, look at that. Look, it tested the trend line exactly, and buyers came in. You see that wick? Look at that. Check it out. All right, I'm going to prepare a long entry at 684.25. Okay. I'm going to go with 4 this time. Let's see what happens. Yeah, we're getting some triangle type action. With that being said, we still could get a pop to test value. See, now that price tested that trend line in the IBL, my target's going to be 711, my stop's going to be 664, okay? All right, I'm in. Let me put my target to 711 and my stop right there. Let's see if they can push it up. Let's go. Push it up. Push it to that EMA, please. Let's see. I didn't wait till the candle closed. You know, that might have been my mistake with this one. If it stops me out, it might not stop me out. It might go right to my target, which I would be grateful for. But let's see. So far we got like 7 points in profit. My take profit is at 710.75. Let's see if it can run those stops on the way back to the 21 EMA. Looking good so far. 8 points up. 9 points. Let's go. 10 points. All right, let's push it. Come on. All right, we got 13 points in profit. Let's push it up, bulls. Still a minute till the candle closes. Might have still been early. We'll see. We'll see what happens. We get a real bullish close on this candle. The odds are good that it tests 710, which is the 21 EMA on my trading view. Let's see. Looking good. Push it up. Time to run some stops. 14 seconds left in the candle. Pop it. Pop it. Pop it. Pop it. Pop it. There you go. Let's go. Don't go back down. Go up. All right. Let's go. Let's go. Let's pop it up, baby. Come on, bulls. That's not good. You don't want to see that. You want to see the bulls take full control. These bears are trying. These bears are trying. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh, no. This might be a big loss coming for Mr. Joseph Trades. But we'll just wait and see. Anything can happen when you trade. Let me make sure my take profit is still in the right place. I've got it at 710. You can see the rationale for the trade. It had tested this trend line in the IBL. My stop is at 664. My take profit will be 709 if it gets there. All right, let me push this back down to 709 because these levels recalibrate constantly, and I always want to make sure that I'm not, I don't have my take profit past the level that it's likely to run into. So, all right, bulls, let's take it higher. Come on. All right, it's time to make the bears pay and pop it up. It's time to make them pay. Time to make them pay. You might say, that's a really big stop, and it's true. But this is an eval account that needs some help, and this trade has good logic to it. So if it works out, I'll be rewarded. If not, this account's sort of out the door anyway. But that's okay. Come on, bulls. And when this candle closes, I will put the stop loss below the candle. See, I'm expecting a rotation higher to the 21 EMA. Because there was buying right around here at the IBL. Let's see what happens. So I went to the lake. I saw a honey hole. I cast my lure in, and now I'm battling with the fish. Let's see if I can keep him on. Or if he spits the hook out and goes back. Come on, bulls. We got a minute and 46. We're in profit so far, but it's not popping up like I really want. Maybe it will here at the end. We've got a, yeah, pop it, pop it. Oh, this life I cannot change. Trying to get to the 21 EMA, gonna go insane. Let's go, pop it, bulls. Let's pop it. Let's inflict some pain on those bears. Let's go. I've got 6.5 points so far, but I have a good feeling that if it closes strong, it'll pop up to the 21 EMA. Pop it up. Come on, guys. All right. We got 53 seconds. Let's see some buying come in and see a pop. We're up 9 points. It's looking better and better. Bears are about to get toasted. Possibly. 39 seconds left. Come on. 69 points. Yeah. It's always a good number. Can never complain about that many points. 18 seconds. Let's roast some bears. Let's have a bear roast today. Looking good. I'm going to move my stop to right below the entry candle. Pop it up. Come on, bulls. Let's run those stops. I don't know. They're making a stand. I wouldn't. See. This is what you have to worry about. Don't ever count your chickens before they hatch. Come on, bulls. If price gets above the high of this candle, it should pop. But we'll see. It really should. All right, make them pay. Welcome to the stream. We're just, we're hoping for some bear barbecue right now, but we'll see what happens. I've got to trade in with the idea of a rotation to the 21 EMA. Let's see if it comes to fruition or not. It may not. Doesn't matter. Price is going to do what it's going to do. Be nice if it did. All right, pop it. There we go. Poppy, make my trade risk free. Poppy, and okay, I'll go right there. I've locked in some gain. Now it's just a matter of, does it go all the way? Let's see what happens. Worst case is I've gotten 7 points of profit. Would I like the whole thing? Yeah, who wouldn't? But sometimes you don't get what you want, and you have to just be grateful for what you get. Come on, bulls, pop it all the way. Pop it. We only have 9 points. Can't you do that? Can't you go 9 more points? 7 more now? Come on, bulls. Punch it. Sellers coming in. See, there are sellers who shorted around here who are being a little belligerent right now because they don't want to get burnt. Welcome to the stream. If you like what you're seeing, please give me a like. Oh, here we go, 5 points away. I'm gonna lock in a little more. Let's see what happens. Does it pop? Poppy, come on, let's go. 2 points, you can do it.
You can do it.
Yes, sir. All right, Mr. Joseph Trades, another winner on the day. Wow, that account has come back from the dead. That account came back from the dead. Yes, sir. It got popped. Look at that. A good trade. Poppy, oh, this life I cannot change. That was a great trade. All right. We're having fun on a Friday. All accounts are green, bigly, as they say. I hope if anyone took that one with me, they were able to stay in it. It's hard to stay in it sometimes. All right, guys, I think that's going to do it for me today. I've got some other things I need to do. If y'all are going to trade the rest of this day, I want you to look at a few things. Okay? You'll notice that this was a double bottom. All right? You'll notice that this is a big area of resistance. You can think of this as a big range. All right, let me go to my trading view. You can see it a little better. Oh yeah, see, before I explain that, this was the logic of my last trade, and it did exactly what I hoped it would. It came and tested the 21 EMA. Beautiful, beautiful trade. Gorgeous. Just a gorgeous trade. I love when price moves like that, like it moves where it makes sense. And you say, what are you talking about, Mr. Joseph Trades? Well, it made sense because there was obvious, let me move this up here. There was obvious support. You can think of that like a support zone. You see those wicks, those long lower wicks? That means buying was going on the candles. And it happened after price got past the IBL. And so the first time it tested value, it got driven down again, which gave us a double bottom. A lot of times when price moves, people will try to do things twice, and then when they fail, it'll go the other direction. So I fully expect, at this point, I fully expect a rotation higher. So what I'm going to do before I get off the stream is place a buy stop in above the high of this bear candle, which is, I'm going to place it at 761.25, and I'm going to be targeting 853. So let me go ahead and do that. I'm going to do it with a real small size. Let's see. Real small. Now, you know, you could say, well, if this is a big range, then aren't you at the risk of having it just rotate down when price gets there? And yeah, that's a risk because this is some rangy, choppy activity. But it's been my experience that on Fridays in particular, price makes big moves in the final couple of hours. And so I would bet that price finds its way back up to the buy side liquidity, which is sitting. You see those big bear candles? That's a bunch of bears who are going to have to cover by the end of the session. All these guys who are trading at institutions, their risk managers are going to tap them on the shoulder and say, hey buddy, it's time to close out your shorts for the day. And I think you're going to see a run higher. So, but we'll just have to see. I might get tagged into this thing before I get off the stream. Let's see. Oh. Well, looks like it's just us again, Mr. Dr. Newman. And then there were one. This could be just a range too. It might rotate back down. Go check them out. Check who out? Wait a second. I see what's going on here. You got my hopes up. Thanks though. That's funny. So for a while I actually did have 4 people in here. That's pretty cool, man. Alright, let's see if I get tagged into this long. Oh, okay. Well, I thought your account was the Venom. Oh, wow. That's great. Thank you. Not too bad the first week, huh? And there's still one other person in here. So I want to express my gratitude to everybody who's watched me trade today. I think I'm gonna stop for the day. I've got to do some other things. My back is starting to hurt. I've been sitting in this chair for like, gosh, almost 4 hours, so it's time to get up. But if you guys trade, just use proper size, honor your plan, and just use the proper risk and wait for the best opportunities. So I want to say thanks for everybody who tuned in, and I don't get to do this every day, but when I do, I will put out a short or something letting people know, because when I get to do this, I would like to have as many people as possible so I can help as many people as possible. It was fun, guys.